massacre has happened by encouraging of Saudi regime, and then as all know that after a little period of time, the Saudi regime has executed the Shahid Nimr.
So you think that this whole process of killing the Shia scholars or Muslim scholars, it is mainly done by Saudi Arabia, and you see this as a whole plan for, you know, for weakening the resistance, right?
Actually, all the deserts of Islamic world is from the Saudi Arabia region.
I see. Okay. All right. How can this event change the process of resistance in the world? I mean, this massacre of Nigeria has a, you know, huge message for all people around the world. Do you think it would have any effect in revealing the true face of satanic powers, or it will be just like other things, it will be buried in the history?
This event showed the ugly and the hateful face of Saudi regime, and have showed the Al Saud as the killer of innocent Sheikh. He didn't commit any mistake thing. He just was talking just about the rights of a human being, and so on.
Okay.
So the results of this event will be very bad on the Saudi regime, and of course the execution of Sheikh Nimr will be the beginning of the end of Al Saud, and the history will never forgive them for what they have committed on right of Sheikh. And blood of the martyr Sheikh and Nimr will destroy their illegitimate kingdom, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay. As the last question, what can international entities or activists or people or media can do in order to prevent such disasters, or if not prevent, at least show the reality, or, for example, send the message of such, you know, huge disasters? What can they do?
The international entities should condemn these behaviors, but just condemning is not enough. United Nations should give or force sanctions on the countries which they are behaving like these behaviors, like Saudi Arabia.
Okay. All right. Thank you so very much, Sister Zainab, for giving us the honor to have you in this episode of The Fact. And inshallah, I hope that we can have the chance of, you know, taking your time in the, you know, in the future conferences too. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Yes, I do strongly believe that there is a relation between the massacre in Nigeria and the execution or the assassination of the great leader Sheikh Nimr Nimr, Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayh. The Saudi regime, as I mentioned in first question, that they asked the Nigerian army to carry out the massacre and believing that they are attacking Iran indirectly and want to put Iran on spot. See, it's like telling Iran, I can destroy your brothers and sisters all over the world and you cannot do anything. They are provoking Iran to draw it into international war that Iran not setting the time for it. Same as the stampede in Mina, that was the first plot Saudi Arabia has committed. And when Iran was not provoked, and so they do the last massacre and execution of Sheikh Nimr Nimr, because he's a world Shia figure. Saudi Arabia made a grave mistake by assassinating Sheikh Nimr Nimr, because Sheikh Nimr now is a simple leader for all Shia in the world, also a hero in the eye of the freedom world. That's how the Sheikh Nimr know. So they left Sheikh Nimr as a great leader in the whole world, the Muslims and the Christians and all free world. The martyrdom of Sheikh Nimr Bakr Nimr will inflame the resistance in the whole world. We can notice that from the amount of demonstration in the Muslim and Western world countries. We can notice the anger on every face of Muslim nation. Saudi regime thinks that if they assassinate Nimr, they will silence the opposition and provoke Iran again. But they never learn from history that the blood of Sayyid Muhammad Bakr Sadr and Sayyid Muhammad Sadiq al-Sadr has destroyed Saddam. And the blood of Imam Musa Sadr has destroyed Muhammad Gaddafi. And the blood of Sheikh Hassan Shahata placed Muhammad Mursi in the jail. Definitely the blood of Sheikh Nimr will destroy the crown of Saudi family ruling in Arabian province, same as the blood of Imam Hussein alayhi salam destroy the destiny of Bani Umayyah. International entity and activists cannot prevent such disaster. Because we are dealing with a regime in Saudi Arabia equal to Israel, protected by Western countries for their own interests. Saudi regime did not listen to international advice not to carry the execution, but he did it with a care and even did not handle the pure body to his family to be buried in the family grave. As activists, we can only play a role in expose the brutality of that regime to the international society, and we hope that we all together can do that, we play that role to expose the Saudi regime and put it on the spot, and the world must put an end to that regime which is being built on hatred and war on all the neighboring countries such as Iraq, Syria, and Yemen, and interfere in Lebanon, and wants to provoke a war on Iran, which is, we all know that Saudi Arabia cannot handle the revenge if Iran wants to carry out a revenge on Saudi Arabia.
All right, there are just two more questions. I will write this one. So how can this event can change the process of resistance in the world, and would it have any effect in revealing the true fate of satanic powers, or it will be buried in history?
I think the fact that so many people around the world stood with Sheikh Zakzaky and announced that they supported him, that was a real shock. I don't think people realized how much support the Islamic movement in Nigeria had, not only in Africa, not only in the Middle East, but in Europe, even in the United States. I attended a very powerful demonstration outside of the Nigerian consulate here in New York City. There is very widespread support for the Islamic movement in Nigeria and the role that they are playing. Not, feeding people, talking about social justice and peace, trying to end sectarian division of the country. There's a lot of, support for them. And I think that was a shock to people. The Western media just tried to ignore this. UN officials tried to ignore it. But really there was an upsurge of outrage from below at what was done.
Okay. And as the last question, what can international entities and activists, in the world do in order to prevent such disasters?
Well, the big thing is that we've got to not let it be ignored. This is a huge thing. 1,000 unarmed people were killed. The leader of a peaceful religious minority has been detained and is unheard of. We don't know about his safety or what condition he's in. We've got to not let it go. We've got to be loud about it. Sheikh Zakzaky needs to be freed, and there needs to be justice. The forces that carried out this horrendous attack need to be punished, and there needs to be a global effort to raise awareness about what's being done to the Islamic movement in Nigeria. The United Nations, these are people who've made their careers, people like Samantha Power, Ban Ki-moon, they've made their careers talking about persecution, genocide, human rights, but they're ignoring this disaster. And we, as the people, as those who are truly concerned about justice, we have a duty to not allow this to be covered up and ignored. We have to continue to raise the demand for justice in Nigeria, freedom for Sheikh Zakzaky, and not let this be silenced and ignored.
Okay, thank you so very much for giving us this honor to have you in this Conference of the Fact. Thank you again, Caleb. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.